I think the most interesting philosopher is a figure named George Berkeley, who lived over 300 years ago, who was very ahead of his time. He came up with this theory. It was really, the matrix philosophy, or the matrix theory, that everything we believe we see or hear or feel is just a simulation. I mean, this 300 years ago, he was believing this. And this whole concept is obviously come back into vogue with the computer age and, frankly, artificial intelligence. AI allows us to use our time a lot more efficiently. Just to explain how it was even 10 years ago, when you had a big document review, and much of my work is government investigations into mergers or acquisitions. You're producing large volumes of documents in a very short period of time. The way you would do that was you would hire, dozens or hundreds of contract attorneys, and you would just try to, in the time you have, teach them everything you know about your client, about antitrust law, about the industry, about the issues in the particular merger. And in a good situation, you might have half a day to have that training. And you're speaking to 50 strangers, some of whom are very experienced contract attorneys, some of whom have no idea what they're doing. And to try to put your brain into their brain was a fool's errand, and it just didn't work. So with AI, we can actually put our brains into an AI and have an AI code 10 million documents to determine what's relevant, what's not relevant. And AI is not perfect, but the end result is I can teach an algorithm to do really as good, if not a better job than I could do if I had infinite time. I'm always astounded by when you get to the last phases of training an algorithm, the algorithm's just really good. The algorithm will make connections that I, as the subject matter expert, don't make. And I'm always, it's an amazing thing to watch when you can see an algorithm really get better than you. It's just a beautiful thing. AI can free up lawyers to do the things that lawyers are uniquely suited to do, such as advising clients on their risks and what do things mean and what should our strategy be. And a lot of times those types of questions really need to be answered by a human being, because what you're trying to do is persuade another human being. You're not trying to persuade a computer, you're trying to persuade a judge, you're trying to persuade a regulator, or you're trying to persuade a counterparty in a contractual negotiation. And so you really need human judgment, you need a sense of personality, you need a sense of both legal and industry expertise, but also just understanding how does the human brain work? How do I persuade someone to come off of a position that they're currently on? And computers don't do that, but lawyers very good at that. If I can spend more of my time doing those types of having those types of conversations, solving those types of problems, that's gravy. That's as good as it gets. The single most gratifying moments are I'll represent people in full-day depositions before the Justice Department or the Federal Trade Commission, and that's incredibly intimidating. And to go through a day where you're sitting next to someone for a full day, you're their best friend in the world that day, you're the ally at their side, and to just have that day go well, and you finish the day and you're walking out, and to see the smile on someone's face, the look of relief on someone's face that they went through something very difficult and it went well and they did a good job for their company, and to know that you helped them do that is immensely, immensely gratifying. I will always give that algorithm a name. And I'll try to give it a fun name. A name like Cobra, or a name like T-Rex. And it's just fun in the middle of a conversation when you're discussing pretty obtuse stuff to throw in the word Cobra or T-Rex in the middle of a sentence. It just makes something that's very dry and difficult and stressful fun. And so if you can find little moments to make the difficult fun, that makes all the difference in the world.